stage till they gained of second guessing. I won't forget the blessings that I don't deserve, because one street over there's a life I couldn't know would have kept me from the one I love today.
Hello. Good morning.
One street over there's a life I couldn't know.
Yes. This is one street over, a chance to see what's going on. One street over from where you living. Oh, we're living well in Robertson County. Things are beautiful. Yes, it's raining again today. I know. I walked out this morning and I was like, come on. It was so pretty yesterday. We had senior sunset with our seniors. Out on the football field with Greenbrier seniors. They have a really cool tradition where at the first of the year, the seniors, as school starts, they have senior sunrise. And then the day before their last day, then they have senior sunset. And a lot of kids today is their last day of school because they are finals exempt. So your seniors that are finals exempt, they're done. And isn't that just crazy? And somebody who knows so much about the school systems here locally, I've got Amber Savell. Is that how you say it? Okay, that microphone needs to be turned up. We were having some little glitchy stuff with our social media post, and so I didn't look at your microphone. But yeah, we got to get that up to where it's right there at your mouth so we can talk to you. And you're part of our school system. And exactly what do you do for Robertson County Schools?
So my title is Coordinator of School Health. So I am the supervisor for all of our school nurses in Robertson County.
Okay.
And then I, along with my assistant, Ashley Horton, are over the Coordinated School Health Department as well.
Okay. And and we just can't say enough about how much we appreciate our school nurses. And Nurse Sarah, she sent me an email. She says, Miss Vivio, I need your list for the field trip. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. I told my husband, I said, Nurse Sarah, she's going to get me. But, because that's the stuff that you do. What have we got here? Okay. Today, the National Nursing Day, absolutely. We'll get into that. I wasn't forgetting. And people come in, they sit down, and they're like, okay, LaVern, stay on topic. But, I just, we love our nurses and stuff. And the things that they have to do, we just forget, they have to make sure all of our kids are healthy. And if they're going on field trips, that they have everything they need and all that kind of stuff. So I just got an email from her. So that's why it's on my mind. But, cause we're doing a last minute field trip, but today is the National School Nurse Day. So very, very good. I didn't know there was a National School Nurse Day.
Oh, so it's always celebrated during Teacher Week. So, there's lots of celebrations of all the people. So
okay.
Earlier in the week was National Teacher Day, and there's National School Nurse Day. There's also a Law Enforcement Celebration Day this week as well. So lots of celebrations of people going on this week.
Goodness, and forgive me because I'm in charge of the digital sign at Greenbrier, and so I've got up there, Teacher Appreciation Week, but these things have slipped by me, and I don't have them posted, and I'm so sorry because I didn't do the one for the SROs and all of that because we had an SRO day.
Yes, that was earlier.
Man, that stuff just zips by us, but it's something that we need to do intentionally, and because if we don't, those things we just kind of take for granted, I think we just kind of take for granted some of the things that are always there helping us. They kind of seem in the background, but they're not. They're at the forefront of keeping us healthy, keeping us safe.
A lot of times, people have impression that school nurses don't, Band-Aids, ice packs, things like that. But there's so much more.
Oh yeah.
These days that nurses do that. Some people still don't realize all the extensive medical care that we're given in the school system. Tube feedings and diabetic care and. So many times we're the only one in the building that has a medical knowledge. We're the only healthcare professional in the building. And so, we not only take care of the kids and everything they have, but also staff members as well, if there's things that go on with them. And, we also do a lot of teaching. And so it's a pretty complex job.
Well, I know one day, because, we have kids that come in and they're sick and those kinds of things. And I just knew I was getting sick one day and I had to go down and see our nurse and I just need to check my temperature, just make sure, just things like that. It was one of those days she had them lined up out the door. And I was like, when you got a minute, let's just see what's going on. But yeah, you're right. It's just, we just forget. I had a student yesterday. I have to go to the nurse now. And I'm like, okay. And it's just just being able to be there and know that you've got that support. The diabetic thing is, I've got several friends that have severe diabetes, And when those kids come in that, have to deal with insulin, and you just cannot, um, you have to take that so seriously. And, sometimes people are like, well, I'm diabetic. Well, there's some that are severely diabetic, and you just got to stay on top of that. And there's so many other things. I had a kid ask me about something and said, well, she has my medicine, I need this. And it's just all of those things that they have to keep coordinated. It's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot. So we appreciate y'all
Thank
very much, very much. Did you start out as a school nurse?
No, I started out working at what used to be Baptist Hospital.
Oh,
I was on a medical surgical floor, and I did some orthopedics as well.
okay.
And when I started having children, one of my husband at the time, his aunts was a school nurse, and she's like, "Hey, you ought to come check it out and come shadow with me."
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really even know that school nursing was a thing. That wasn't something that I learned about in nursing school.
Right.
So I went and shadowed with her. It was kind of neat, and she was like, "You'll probably not, it'll be a few years. No, nobody ever leaves." But I got lucky, and somebody left that following year, and so I was able to get into school nursing, and so I've been here since 2008, I think.
That is cool. That is cool. And when you're a mom, what better? Just
It's
wonderful.
amazing.
Nurse Sarah's little girls, we get so it's so fun. Those girls have grown up overnight. It just seems like over the summer, but they just like all of a sudden. But she has twins, and so I'm like, what a great gig to be able to be in the school system and on the same schedule as her kids. And I'm sure that's the same for you. How many kids do you have?
I have two daughters.
Okay.
So yeah, when I started, my oldest daughter was in preschool,
Okay.
and so my youngest daughter is graduating in a few days. So
So where are they graduating from?
East Robertson,
East Robertson. When is your graduation?
the 16th.
The 16th. Okay. Because that's one thing we're going to be talking about, because I'm a senior sponsor. So I have homeroom. My cat time is all seniors. So I'm very aware of the senior schedule. And so I will keep y'all up to date on all the graduations and stuff. But we're here. Is she done today?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So she actually plays flag football. So we're heading out to play in the state tournament. So I'm excited about that.
Okay. Well, so, we're playing flag football too. So I guess you're in a different district from Greenbrier.
So we've played district, but we've had an undefeated season. So
Good for y'all.
it's
Okay.
It's a pretty cool sport to watch. I wish we would have had it before she was a senior. But it's
That's
fun. to
fun.
watch.
That's fun. Where are y'all playing the state tournament?
Somewhere in Murfreesboro.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Congratulations. Because we're just starting, our district is just starting their playoffs today. Yeah. No, tomorrow. Because we're playing, at Cheatham. But there's just so many things at school. Y'all have no idea. Unless you're in the school system, you have absolutely no idea what is going on. But it's a lot of fun. So we're just kind of looking at today is National School Nurses Day. And with all of that, let's just kind of take a look at some of the things that that go on with school nursing. We have this is something I don't think people realize, that you have a full-time nurse at each school, except for which one is
It's an alternative school. So yeah, Robertson County is really unique and
Okay.
really lucky because we do have a full-time nurse in every
Right.
school. All of the nurses in Robertson County are RNs.
Mhm.
The only school
wow.
that doesn't have a full-time nurse is the alternative school, and we share a nurse with Westside Elementary.
Well, and you have two that float,
Yes,
basically.
I have two floaters.
Right.
They're full-time as well. They are our first line of coverage, and they go and cover when our regular nurses are out. They
Mhm.
assist in our real high acuity schools, and they're just kind of essential because, somebody's always sick or their kids are sick or
Oh, yeah.
something. And our principals get really used to having that nurse in the building full time, so it's really difficult when we have to be without.
Well, we'll hear from Nurse Sarah. Hey, I've got to go somewhere today. I got to go help out, and that happens. But especially during sick season, because they're the ones getting the kids that are sick, and it's really hard to probably keep it from hitting you as well.
I said we do pretty good most of the year, but November to February, it's kind of tricky
Yeah,
sometimes.
especially with your kiddos.
Yes.
Especially with your kiddos. As I'm sitting here looking at some of the things that y'all do, I had forgotten that they did this, but we had medical screenings that they did. What age is it in high school that gets that? Is it our sophomores?
So 10th grade. So
10th
we do
grade, okay.
in even grades, kindergarten through 10th grade.
Okay. And we're talking vision screenings, hearing screenings, that kind of like that little triage thing that just kind of, is there anything going on? Because some of these kids I have kids sitting in my classroom that need glasses, and they've maybe never been to the eye doctor, and they need to, and it's nice to know. I've even had conversations with them. Well, I did a vision screening at school, and so I know that they're okay, but maybe they're starting to get a little. I do optical in Mexico,
Okay.
and we do where we use the glasses that we get from Lions Club, donated glasses, and we measure prescriptions and match them and all this kind of stuff. And so there's a lot of things that vision wise are minor enough you can kind of work with. But it's one of those things. It's so nice that they have that avenue in school to say, this could be a problem later on. And I'm sure they have those conversations with the kids. You don't really need glasses yet. You're kind of, but you need to keep in mind, this is something you need to follow up with.
Right. And
So you can plant that seed.
yeah, the machines that we use are really good. They can pretty much tell you like what prescription is needed, or if you have astigmatism, or if you
Yeah.
just have your gaze is off. So they're really kind of advanced machines, and they're really good. We send home referral letters to parents.
Good.
And we're working on for next year a better way to collect the data when we send it home
Mhm.
to see like who actually follows up and
Oh, yeah.
because we know we send it out, but we don't always know if they actually go to the doctor or if they're able to, or so not only to let them know, hey, you need to take your kid to the eye doctor, but also if you need assistance, here's
Yeah.
we have
Through the Family Resource Center and things like that.
So we did have we always have several kids who end up getting glasses, and even with our hearing screenings this year, we found I know one child that had like a neurological issue. So they went to the regular pediatrician. They tested the ears. They're like, hearing's fine. We think it's in the brain. So they've been referred to a neurologist to kind of see what's going on.
Wow.
So I said, even that's one kid this year that with a major issue, but I think that's
Wow.
well worth it.
But yeah, are you kidding me that you can get in front of that? God bless. That is wonderful. I mean, wow.
So
That's
I
amazing.
will say
What
one
i-
of the neatest things that we found that I was a part of was at one of our schools. We found a couple of kids who were colorblind, and the test for that is really neat because I'm not colorblind, so I'm seeing this thing and what it looks like, and when the child is telling me what they're seeing, it's very strange because I don't know how they see that, but it's because they're colorblind, and even that can affect. Well, one of those teachers said I had no idea. I use purple and green markers, and he can still see it, but it just looks gray to him. So just little
Wow.
things like that.
Isn't that just amazing? That is amazing. You've got me going down so many rabbit holes with my brain because now I want to see what kind of machine you use to identify. Because we have a refractor that we take into Mexico. That's a little compact thing. How big is your refractor?
It looks like a
It's just like
digital
ours.
camera. It's
Yeah.
called a spot vision machine.
Yeah, that's what we have. That's what we take to Mexico with us, and they are cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they're cool, cool, cool. That's really neat that y'all are using those. Oh man, this is so interesting, and and I just never really even thought about those screenings. So you do them. Is 10th grade the last one that they get?
Mhm.
Because you figure at that point they're almost on the edge of adulthood, and it's time to be thinking about this stuff, kids. And you do all the flu shots.
We do those for our staff.
Yeah.
That's
For staff.
a service that we offer, and we partner with our local pharmacies and have them come in and do flu shot days for our staff, just so we can ensure that they're taken care of and hopefully reduce the need for them to be out. So that's really nice, and it helps us get to know the local pharmacist and things like that. And there's been a few times I know last year for School Nurses Day, several of the local pharmacies put little gift baskets together for us, and that was really sweet.
Well, see, it is so fun because it's so funny because you talk about the flu shots. I hardly ever can be there when they're doing it at school because it's usually early in the morning when I'm doing this because I'm first block planning. So I usually have to go to the local pharmacy, and they're just wonderful. Couldn't ask for nicer folks to help you out there at Greenbrier Pharmacy, and so they're just wonderful. But I'm looking at these stats that for what goes on. 391 staff visits, 9 that were sent to the ER, and this is for last year.
This is for this year.
This is for this year so
August
far.
until yesterday.
Oh my goodness. And you've had 67,913 clinic visits where kids have popped in and said, hey, 67,913. That's insane
A lot.
in this district. Because, we're a big district, but that's a lot. And then 116 that you had to send to the ER. Man, aren't you glad we've got nurses there? Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. 18,201 doses of medication that were distributed. And then again, 406 staff flu shots. That's amazing. 8,458 vision screenings. 580 of those that were referred
Yes.
that needed some kind of vision help. Hearing screenings. They did 8,363, 358 referred. It's so funny. I talked to my kids. I have tinnitus, where my ears ring because I always listen to stuff too loud because I've been in radio so long. And I will have them, because we have headphones on and we're working on computers and video and all this kind of stuff. And I will hear it through their headphones. I can hear them. I'm like, turn it down.
Oh, yeah.
When you're my age, you'll be glad that you listened to Miss Vivio. But here's something that just really impressed me: are the AEDs that we have in the school system. Because we've all, I think, heard or had somebody we know that's been saved by an AED, and that's breathtaking. Kids, even that you just don't think about. And these are lifesavers. So we have at least one at each school, 12 at outdoor facilities, and 350 certified staff that are CPR certified.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Years ago, Northcrest donated an AED to all of our schools.
Awesome.
And then one good thing that came out of COVID is we got some money for some stuff. So
Right.
we got some money, so I was able to refurbish the machines, get new ones because they were several years old.
Right.
So we have new machines at all the schools. And then this past year, we bought 12 to go at the outdoor facilities for school practices and games so that they're available when those games and practices are going on.
I noticed one on the back of our building because my room sits overlooking maybe the practice fields. I guess they call it at Greenbrier. And there's one right there on the wall.
Yeah, that's
Right there on the wall. And because, there's an awful lot of kids on that field all the time.
We've never had to actually use it to shock a heart. We've had to get it out a couple of times because we thought we might have to. But luckily, we've never had to actually, use the AED in Robertson County yet. But it's one of those things that when you need it, you want to make sure that it's there and it's working. So
I had a friend of mine that was a preacher, and up in, I guess it was at Lipscomb. He was coaching, and he was a coach, a teacher, and all that. And he had a heart attack coaching, and they saved him with an AED. And we hear of it all the time. And so there's just a little miracle hanging on the wall there, guys.
And we practice. We have AED drills at least twice a year with
Right.
our teachers and staff and nurses, and just kind of run through a scenario to make sure that we all know how to respond and
Right.
what's going to happen and all that kind of stuff.
So interesting too, because we do. I thought we did them more than that, because it seems like we have fire drills, we have all kinds of drills, but yes, we have those emergency drills. But I can remember we had a drill that happened at some point this year, or we thought it was a drill, and it turned out one of the teachers was having some issues, and it just, because of the drills we've had, it ran like clockwork. And that's the only, you have to have these drills. And if you don't, when something happens, you're not ready for it. And so it's just, I love the structure, and I love that we've got that protection and that help. In pretty much all of our buildings, except for the one that you mentioned. But so let's just kind of, as we're kind of looking through the things we want to cover, again, if you're just joining us, this is National School Nurse Day. And I have with me Amber Savell. A little bit of an unusual last name. But looking at the things that you have done, you were talking about your background as an RN, and that you discovered school nursing because it was a good schedule for you to work in with your family. But I'm also looking at your stats, and what is TASN and what is SNA? Because you are the TASN president, or you were from 21 to 23, pardon me. I don't know why that's making noises now. But, and then we also, that you were the SNA co-chair. What is that? What are those acronyms? We're an acronym rich society these days.
TASN is the Tennessee Association of School Nurses. So that's the association for all the school nurses in Tennessee. So I was honored to be the president of that for a couple of years and help run that and plan our big conference. And SNA is a School Nurse Alliance.
Okay.
It's a smaller school nurse group out of Lebanon, and I was the co-chair of that
Awesome.
association for a couple of years as well.
Well, just being able to coordinate with other groups and say, okay, what's happening with y'all, what's happening here, and kind of keeping an eye on that is just, it's critical, really.
And it's really nice to
helps you.
network with other
Yeah.
people in my position around the state and know that they're facing the same issues, and some of them may have worked through something already, and they can share that information with us so that we're not starting from scratch. And it's been a really great to be a part of that association in general, and just to meet some of the different people that are in our positions around the district and around the state. And to collaborate with them.
Well, and, I talk about how blessed we are here in Robertson County, and you sit here and look at these state stats, and how that how we rate in regards to the rest of the state that don't have nurses at every school, and we're the same thing with our SROs, guys. I mean, we're so blessed here
We are.
that we have those safety things in place for health and security and all of those things, and we're ahead of the game on that.
We are. Yes.
We really are. What are we missing in all this? Because I mean, we've got a few more minutes here. Just kind of teaser. I've got Trent Cobb coming in. I talked to him yesterday. He's over in the fair board, and I'm like, do we have a date for the fair yet? He's going to come in and talk about that. Real quick, that little noise maker was my friend Lee Marie. Wanted to remind you that this Monday, Caleb Stratton is going to be speaking at their the Robertson County chapter of the Tennessee Firearms Association and Hunters Education Programs, what he's going to be talking about. And they're going to have their potluck's going to be something your mama cooked. So you're supposed to bring something in that your mama cooked. I love that. That's awesome, Lee Marie. And that's at 6 p.m. this Monday at the American Legion Post 45 in Greenbrier. So plugging that real quick, and we'll have Trent come walking in here in just a little bit. But what are we missing about what you're presenting today and the things you want people to know? What do you want people to know about their school nurses? What's the most important thing?
Most important thing is that we love and we care about every student in our building. I know there's things that parents get upset about and things happen, but all of my nurses in Robertson County truly care about the students in their buildings and their communities that they're a part of, and they're just a really good resource. And if you ever have questions or need anything, call your school nurse. She's welcome, happy to tell you what she can or get you to the right people. I really am proud of the team that I have in Robertson County and the work that we do.
And, it was only until I took a field trip that I understood the importance of that paperwork that we send out to the kids at the first of the year. Because Nurse Sarah told me, she says, okay, here's your list. You're good to go. And this one, maybe, has this or this. And she says, and here's the list of ones that have not given us permission to treat.
Right. So
that blows my mind.
Well, so that was a new law that happened last school year. And my understanding was that the intent of the law was not what came out of it, but
right.
It is what happened. And so it kind of threw a wrench in things for healthcare providers everywhere. So it's not saying that we're going to do anything crazy. It's just we have to have permission from the parent to do anything, to treat your child at all for, minor or major things.
Yep.
So we've added that to our registration portal this year because last year it was really crazy because the law got passed right before school started and we were like, oh, what are we going to do? So we've added it to our registration portal for this year, and then we always send home a health history form at the beginning of every year for parents to fill out, and so it's also on there. So just, that's part of the law. I know parents hate filling out those forms every year, but they're really important and, some of those things that we have to have.
Yeah.
It's also registration time for next year for kindergartners and everybody. So make sure you make your immunization appointments because they fill up fast.
That is one thing that was on this list I wanted to kind of circle back with is that it is time to do that. You got to get those immunizations in to make sure you're ready to go when school bell rings because it will, as much as we're just about to get into summer or just about to get out of school, in a minute, we're going to be heading right back. So it goes so quickly in the summer.
Yeah,
now, do y'all work through the summer or do you take summers off?
No. Well, the nurses in the schools, they get the summers off. I work at central office, so I work more through the summer. So it's a lot of finishing up one year and starting the next year all at the same time and trying to prepare.
That's the thing. We forget about our central office folks that they don't get the summer off, and so we need to be super nice and remember that they're, they get some time off, but you guys are working all through the summer. So we appreciate all that you do. Anything else that we're missing? We've got a few minutes left here. Anything you want to recap before we wrap?
I do want to give a shout out to Dr. Hunter Butler here in town. He is our volunteer medical director. So that's a position that's really important because he helps us develop policies and procedures. He approves those. He's over our AD program, and he has made himself available to me and to our other school nurses for questions, concerns. I have his number. I can text him if I have a question. And he's just been really helpful and, because our school nurses work by themselves. They're the only person in the building. I'm the supervisor, but I can't get to 21 schools very often. And so he's been really, really essential to helping us figure things out and working through things. He's also working on some legislation that I think is going to help us with some different things in schools, getting albuterol in our schools without a prescription, things like that. So I just wanted to give him a little shout out.
That's very cool. And let's kind of, before we switch over and talk to Trent, I want to just reemphasize those forms that we need you to fill out with the kids. When we send these things home, I'm getting ready for a field trip, and I will have a list from Nurse Sarah so they can go. But just know that if something happens, we do not have a consent to treat form on these students. You're sending your kids, if you're not taking time to fill out these forms, and maybe they haven't even brought them home. There's a lot of times that. But ask your kid, have we filled these forms out? Because, we have, there's a list of kiddos that we can't get the forms signed because the parents just are not paying attention to it. And if something happens, we have to get a hold of you before we can do anything.
Now, we will always provide emergency care.
Right.
So
emergency care is, yeah.
But like I said, basic care, assessing them, like when they're throwing up and stuff, taking temperatures, a lot of things like that. If we don't have your consent by law right now, we can't do that.
Can't even take their temperature.
So
you can provide emergency services.
Absolutely.
So,
we will always provide emergency services.
Well, that's what I figured, but it's still, if my kids in being entrusted to the schools, I want to make sure they know that yes, you can take care of stuff. And so that's a big deal, guys. So pay attention to that, and be sure and thank your school nurses today. And I wish I'd known to put it on the digital sign, even though Jim told me, it just right over my head. But anyway, we appreciate you guys very much, and I love you, Nurse Sarah. I will get you my field trip list today, I promise you. We just got approval on the field trip yesterday. So anyway, but she's going to be just giving me a hard time. She loves me. I love her too. But and it's so nice to meet you, and what a wonderful career you've had and are having. Before you go, we got another minute. Are we going to have any school nurse openings in Robeson County?
So there's one position currently posted on the website.
Oh.
I always, I have a nurse that's retiring. It's actually the nurse that got me into school nursing is retiring this year. So I always say to people who call and ask me, because I have people ask me this time, are you going to have open? Until they tell me at the end of the year, I don't know. Now,
right.
We have a good run. A lot of nurses, once you're a school nurse, you don't want to leave. So I don't think that's going to be any more than the one position I'm going to have, but you never know. So just watch the website and fill out an application.
Can you say what school it's, or if you don't, if you don't want to, do not. I'm just wondering if it's been made public. But so there you go, guys. If this is something that appeals to you and you're interested in it, here's an opportunity to put an application in. And just, do you have, because of your associations with do you have kind of an end to say, well, I don't have anything, but Sumner County does?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
And I know
so you could help somebody maybe if that's just something they really want to do. Okay. Awesome.
And I'm looking to add a PRN position maybe moving forward, which would be kind of a part-time position as well. So
a PRN?
Just if we needed an extra hand every now and then. So
what is a PRN?
It just means as needed. So so
if
we had
okay.
More
Acronyms.
than 2 or 3 out. If we had more than 2 or 3 out, then I could call on her and say, hey, could you come?
I got you.
So, but that hadn't been approved yet, but that's one of the things I'm working on.
Just somebody maybe maybe has decided to stay home, but has that nursing license that could get a little, okay. Well, wonderful. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
And you have a wonderful day, and you tell Will to call me when you see him. Tell him I need to talk to him this morning. All right. Thank you so much. And as she makes her way out, we're going to talk about my friends, and Trent Cobb's on the way in. We're going to talk about my friends Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty, folks. Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. That's what it's about right now. They are going to be there. They are founding sponsors and on the board of the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. And they will be there. This is May 16th and 17th coming up next weekend. And I'll be there too. I can't wait to see it. It's like our 12th one, I think. I forget. But they're there in Cross Plains. They are Cross Plainians. They have been for about 30 years, about the same time as I've been in Robeson County. And they came from Kentucky, just like me. So when it comes to the real estate game, yes, they specialize in Robeson County properties, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky because of their very diverse background and the fact that they grew up in Kentucky like I did. And so that means they understand the nuances of living, or if you're going to live in Kentucky and work in Tennessee, well, they have a state income tax. What does that do? They can help you out with that. Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist, was just named to the top 100, regional top 100 for Exit. She was number 2 gross commission income in Tennessee, number 2 in sales volume in Tennessee, number 5 in the GCI in region, and number 6 in the sales volume in region. She is an awesome person and great at what she does. If you want to reach out to Rebecca, she, again, has her office up in White House, an agency office. Barry is the broker. He is here in Springfield. They took those two offices and combined them to bring you a new branch in the Exit Tree. They are Exit Prime Realty. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy BUY, robertscounty.com, or give them a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know. I thought, man, because it's just we've been packed on the show. We've had just a lot of stuff going on, but I've thought 2 or 3 times I need to just get an update on the fair and the fairgrounds and just what's going on, because that's a hopping place. Every time I turn around, it's happening at the fairgrounds. Well, we've got the crawfish deal that's coming up next weekend. It's at the fairgrounds. Yep. They had the pancake breakfast at the fairgrounds. I mean, my goodness.
We try. I mean, we every year we try to make some improvements to make it, more appealing to people to have events and stuff down there. So, but yes, I mean, with the Kiwanis Club coming down to the fairgrounds, last year they did it. They loved it. So we're hoping that it's going to stay down there, because I mean, it was raining.
It was raining, but still, it was fine.
Yeah,
I mean, because you had under the shed there. And we've got farmers market. When does it start?
It starts this Saturday morning.
I was going to say, see, this perfect timing having you in.
Yeah.
It's like we just worked this out perfect, didn't we, bro?
Yeah, it starts this Saturday morning, and then, like you say, the crawfish boil starts at 4:00 Saturday afternoon, and goes till 10:00. So,
right. And it's going to be a busy Saturday. We've got the book walk is going on Saturday morning too. Excuse me. And then so you've got that, and you can go to the farmer's market, do the book walk, then go to the I mean, go to the crawfish boil. It's going to be a busy day.
You don't have to leave Robertson County.
No, you do not. You do not. Don't even say it. Don't even talk to us about that. And it is Mother's Day weekend. So it'd be a great weekend to, get out there and treat mom to something at the farmer's market. But, and then enjoy the book walk and the crawfish boil. That's going to be something. That's a fundraiser. They're trying to build a daycare facility that we need so desperately.
Yeah,
for folks
a nonprofit daycare.
Nonprofit daycare, and it's just such a wonderful idea. And so I really encourage you to get out, and it's going to be a blast. I mean, all the descriptions of what they're going to be doing there, it's going to be just an absolute blast. One of our vice principals is going to be one of the judges, and Mr. Larry Staggs, and I saw Nick Barris is going to be there. I love Nick Barris. He's one of our big old local celebrities.
And Stale Cracker.
Yeah, see, I don't know who that is, but everybody else does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen a few of his
Stale
videos,
Crackers,
and he's just a good old Cajun.
Yeah,
so
so that's going to be fun. Yeah. That's going to be an awful lot of fun. But now one of the main, and I'm just so glad I got you in here with all that's going on this weekend at the fairgrounds. But my main question was, when's our fair?
The fair this year has moved back into September.
Okay.
We had to move it up into August last year, just to keep Kissel. We had date conflicting with them. So anyway, it is September the 16th through the 20th. So
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, back in September where it really needs to be.
Yes.
You have, last year we didn't have any tobacco,
right.
to display.
Wasn't ready.
Because,
it
wasn't ready because it was early, but we'll have tobacco, and then a lot of your later season crops and stuff like that.
Pumpkins,
and
that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that'd be cool. And 2, it might not be so hot.
That's exactly right.
September around here, it can still be pretty warm, but August is going to be hot. I mean, there's just no getting around it. You're gonna have hot weather in August. I think a lot of people, and it's nothing. You just have to have it when you have it, because to get the good fair, to get the good carnival.
Yes.
Carnival is what we're talking about. Kissel, right? Kissel. And you guys insisted that's got to, because that's the one.
They are one of the premier shows. I mean, and we're lucky enough that they don't do a whole lot of smaller fairs.
Yeah.
Because they're more into state fairs and, bigger county fairs, like that have, like the Upper Cumberlands and stuff like that.
Right.
Have, 2 or 3 counties that go in together.
Right.
But we're lucky enough that we like them and they like us.
That's awesome.
So
Have we always used them? How long is this? It's been, I mean, because we do have a great carnival that comes.
Yes,
if you
for,
go to
for
the,
many years,
Yeah.
it was Miss Myers and Myers Entertainment, and she retired and got out of the business. And then we had 1 year with another carnival company, Lowry Entertainment, but then we've had Kissel. I want to say 6 or 7 years now.
okay.
So, but like I say, they're really good. I mean, you know, carnival people get a bad name, you know, but these are when they show up and start working. You know, we get to visit with some of the workers and stuff, and they are just, you know,
Salt
very,
of the earth.
yeah,
Good people.
very respectful. You
Mhm.
know, just really good men and women that are
Yeah.
just, you know, that's their job. So,
Phil Valentine used to describe radio people as carnies with a dental plan. I'm sorry, I had to share that.
That is
Because every time I think of it, because we try, I mean, because a lot of the times if you're in radio broadcasting, you are on the road a lot and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, I don't know if that was nice to say or not, but you made me think of that. But he's always kind of described us as carnies to some carnival people to some degree. We're radio clowns, but I miss that guy. Anyway, but so tell me what else is on the calendar for the fair?
Well,
Do you have some stuff coming up? Are y'all
yes,
are you doing the barbecue thing?
Well, we're
What's happening
having
with
it,
that?
but I am not sponsoring it.
Okay.
Cobb Hill Homes is not sponsoring it this year.
Okay.
Turn In Tracks,
Okay.
who is a excavation company here in Robertson County,
Okay.
is the main sponsor, and that we've actually teamed up with 2 other barbecue contests in Middle Tennessee, and it's called the Tennessee Trifecta, I think. And I wished maybe this is nope. I was hoping that was going to be Mr. Perry Pratt chiming in, telling me more about it. But like I say, it is in June. Let me go to my calendar. I had it pulled up just a second ago, but
It's always right there about the same time that we have the fishing rodeo.
yes,
I think it's usually the same day.
yeah, which
And-
works out really good.
Yeah, it really does, because we did that with my grandson. I mean, honestly and truthfully, he still talks about the day that we came in fishing and went to the barbecue. And it was just the best time. And we actually went to the wing contest on Friday night, went to the rodeo then that next morning, and then came back over and went to the barbecue tasting then for
yes.
lunch. So
So-
we just had a full weekend. The little squirt's so involved with baseball now, I can't get him to go nowhere except baseball field anymore.
Yep, but the barbecue cook-off is the 13th and 14th of June.
Okay,
So that's the second weekend in June.
I'll bet you that's the same as the fishing rodeo.
Probably
I'll talk
so.
to Terry. Oh yeah, I'll give Terry a call and see what's going on with that. But
So, but yeah, it's so May, June, and then July we have the Freedom Fest that'll be happening down there. Put on by the city of Springfield.
yeah.
So, and it's always a big, I don't know who the entertainment is.
Yeah, I was wondering, has that been announced yet? Do you know if they've made? I doubt they've made the
I
announcement.
don't think they've made the announcement yet. So,
well, we'll start fishing for that to see if we can't find that out.
yeah.
But because I wonder if they've actually put that information out or not. But that'll be interesting to see who we're going to have on the stage this year. That's always a big announcement. So we'll see if we can't start poking around, see if we can't get a scoop on that. That'll be fun. But so we've got that. Are they doing a blues festival this year? I haven't talked to Crooked Eye to see if they're doing a blues festival. They normally do.
Yes, I think they are. I
Yeah.
was just looking to see.
Last year I think it was when I was in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what was going on, but I had something that just complete conflict on it, because I usually go, and but I haven't had a chance to talk to Crooked Eye in a while, so I've definitely got to give him a call and just kind of catch up. And we're talking about Tommy Marsh, Crooked Eye Tommy, who helped y'all with the music for the the fair every year.
That's how we roped him into being a fair board member.
That's
is
right.
We
That's
got him.
right.
We got him down there,
Yeah.
and that's the thing about it. We're always looking for new members. It's hard to recruit members because they say, well, yeah, what do you do? Well, we put in long hours.
Yeah.
We don't get paid, and a lot of times we spend
Very
money
little-
out of our own pocket.
Yeah.
So
And very little gratitude.
very, yeah. It's only when things go wrong do the people notice us.
That's
So,
hysterical, but it's so rewarding. You need to do it.
It is. It
you
is.
need to do
I
it.
mean,
It's a family. It's an absolute family.
yes.
I can say that because I've just been around you guys enough to know, how tight knit you guys are.
Well,
and it's
I've
really
been,
neat.
There's other members that's been there longer than me. I've been there going on 30 years.
Oh wow,
Yeah, so
that's cool.
It's
You kind of grown up in it, haven't you? 'Cause
yep, sure.
you're just
sure
a
have.
youngin'.
So,
30 years, man, that's nothing for you.
Yeah, so but we need some people that can put in another 30 years because there's several of us don't have 30 years left in us. So
That's there's that. There's that.
There's
So,
that. So I mean, if you're interested, you can contact. There's Fair Board members all over Robertson County. Contact, get involved. We would love to have some younger members.
it's time.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah. So there you go, guys. It's time. So if you want to be on the fair board, they'd love to put you. They'd love to get you in there. So they'll put you to work if you want to come out and help them with that.
And in July also, after the Freedom Fest, it's the Bikers Who Care.
Oh, okay.
It's a multi-day event. I want to say it goes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's one of those.
Okay.
I mean,
and what are they going to do? Do you know what's going to be happening?
it's like a biker rally, but
Okay.
and I don't know enough about it. I just know that it's on the calendar, and they was in Clarksville the last few years, but we talked to them last year, and they came up and looked at the facility and thought, yes, this would be a good fit for what they want to do.
Oh, cool.
And like I say, just any day you can Google anything nowadays. So if you want more information
Yeah,
about
exactly.
it, and as it gets closer, you can check our website and our Facebook pages and stuff like that, and we'll have, more information about that.
Well, it's just like I'm sitting here Googling. I'm trying to see if Ryan and them have put out anything at the city about the Freedom Fest. I'm looking to see if Tommy Marsh has put out anything about Blues Festival and all those kinds of things. So that's how you find it. I mean, there's just all kinds of fun stuff going on in Robertson County. But those are two people that I've got to get on my radar and get them in here.
Yeah.
So we can find out a little bit more about what they got going on. So, but Ryan will be coming in after the mayor and alderman meeting. So the timing's about right to release the name of the act, don't you think, on the Freedom Fest? I would think.
Yes.
And if you're new, the fireworks that they put on, oh my goodness, awesome.
It is
just an outstanding fireworks show, and you don't have to fight the Nashville traffic. And it's not on the 4th of July, so it's not going to intrude with what you have with your family. And that's what, did you give us the dates on the Freedom Fest? What was it?
It is the 3rd.
It's
It
the
is
3rd.
actually the 3rd,
It's
which
on
is
the
a
3rd.
Thursday. It's
Yeah.
on a Thursday.
It's on a Thursday. So, they always do it, they always do it the day before,
Yeah,
don't
the
they?
day
on the 3rd.
before. Yeah.
Okay.
That way,
And-
because, and it's, it's not on the 4th, but at the same time, you have all kinds of city employees that are down there working.
Yeah.
And so
They
they don't
take-
really have time for their families and stuff like that if they're, when
They need a day off too.
they need a day off too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. So, but we'll be hitting Ryan up and see if we can get a little scoop on that. And I will reach out to Tommy too and see if what's happening with the Blues Festival. But those are just, again, this is just, man, it's packed full. If you want to do something at the fairgrounds, you better reach out and get on the calendar. We've had an idea, and I mentioned to you guys before, I really, really want to do some kind of a spirit concert, a faith-based concert with just some, it'd be fun just to get all the local church praise and worship bands together and do something. And that's still something that I would love to see us be able to pull off. And we'll also have Recovery Fest out there. I don't know what the date. Do you have the
I
date?
was just looking at Recovery Court. It looks
The
like
Recovery Fest. This would be our
Yes.
second one.
it's the second one. It is August the 9th, it
Yes.
looks like. Yes.
And it's later in the day though, because we were super hot last year.
Yeah.
That was
so-
the one thing everybody's like, can we have it a little bit later in the day?
Yeah.
It was a great success. And, yeah.
Also, so I don't forget, on the we have the Crawfish Bowl this Saturday, and then the following Saturday is the My Father's House car show.
Oh, of course. And as a matter of fact, we've got folks coming in to talk about that tomorrow. That's our talk. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow.
Good,
so,
good deal.
so that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So we like I say, there's something happening. You know, I'm not going to say every single weekend, other than farmers
Sure seems
market.
like it.
Yeah,
Sure
the farmers
seems like
market after it starts this Saturday. You know, it'll go all the way through until August.
Yes. Okay.
And
then we get ready for the fair.
then we start getting ready for the fair.
So it will go through the end of August.
I think so.
Yeah. Because they had to stop a little bit early last year because of the fair coming in.
Yeah, the fair was coming in so early.
So, but that's good. Then go through August, and that'll be great.
So we have that. Like I say, the fairgrounds are getting utilized.
Yeah.
Like,
even more. I mean, more and more and more.
Yeah.
People are just discovering it. It was just like when we were looking for some place to have Recovery Fest.
Mm-hmm.
It was the obvious place to do it,
it's good location, good parking, good buildings, air-conditioned buildings if you need them, plenty of restroom facilities. So,
right.
And Fred Head, who he does an excellent job of keeping everything mowed and trimmed, and it always looks nice when you drive by.
It looks great, and that's one thing too. When I've even been to the big events like the fair or to the Freedom Fest and all that, the way y'all facilitate parking out there, and then the parking you have across the street, and the different things like that, and you're helping out the vets whenever you park it. A lot of the times across the street, that's an easy thing to go. Absolutely, I'll let you park my car. Here we go.
That's exactly right.
And contribute to that. It's just it's done so well and so organized, and you see your law enforcement out there. It is just I love how it all comes together and works. It is just really a wonderful thing. I love it. So, just a whole litany of things. So again, remind everybody again the date of the fair again.
It is September the 16th through the 20th. That is Tuesday through Saturday.
And that'll be a good time. Hopefully we'll have some cool weather. The smoking barns will be going on throughout that's all the feels. That's all the feels of county fair whenever it's fall.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And you have that fun feel. So I'm excited that it's in September.
And the Don Head J. Fuquay Memorial Tractor Pull is coming back this year to the fairgrounds.
Okay.
It is Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. So me and my memory don't work real well. So. Yes.
It's on all of us, brother. It's on all of us.
It'll be I guess August the 30th, which is the Saturday before Labor Day.
Okay.
So yes, that is yes. So if I'm wrong, I'll get yelled at, and somebody will let me know that real quick. So
who's the president of the fair board right now?
Chad.
Okay.
Gregory
Okay.
Is the president this year? So
well, I'm not trying to step around the president all the time. She's just treating our friends, and so it's an easy phone call. I'm like, come on, Trent, come on in here and talk. And you've been on it for so long. Like I said, it's like it's part of your blood, really.
Yeah, and Chad has young children that he has to get to school
There's
and everything
that.
else. So
we're grandparents, so we just we're just applauding them, and we play with the kids and send them back.
That's exactly right.
It's so much fun. How many grandkids you got now?
I've got 2 and another one on the way.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, I've got 2 granddaughters, Natalie and Hallie, and then this third one is a boy.
Oh,
I mean,
there you go.
Yeah, so his name's going to be Grady.
Oh, I love it.
So,
that's congratulations. I had not heard that. That's exciting. When's the baby due?
In October.
Oh,
so,
fun.
Yeah.
Fun. Well,
she gets to go through all the good hot summer months.
Ooh,
and
that's
then she'll be really good, and Kristen, my daughter, she loves the fair too.
Yeah, so she'll be out there.
And she'll be out there.
About ready to have a baby.
Yeah, so.
That's funny. Oh, my goodness. I'll be looking forward because I know that's going to be, what a fun time. What a fun season for your family. That's great.
It sure is.
It's going to be just a great summer, guys. I hope we've kind of, with school wrapping up, and if you've got seniors, guys, a whole lot of them, today's their last day. And then the ones that have to take finals, their last day is on Friday. Graduations will start here just in a little over a week. And then all the kids will be out of school 2 weeks from Friday.
Yeah.
And some of them 2 weeks from today because if they're finals, if they're exempt from finals. So there you go. But what else are we missing, Betty?
Well, like I say, we have the fair we do have a few of our events, nailed down.
Okay.
As far
as what's going to be on the fair schedule.
yeah,
Okay.
what's going to be on the fair schedule. We'll have the demo derby,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously Saturday night, and I'm 99% sure we're going to have motocross Thursday and Friday night
Okay. Cool.
of there, and then we hadn't settled for sure, but Faith Night we will probably have it, weather permitting, in the arena.
Okay.
This year. So,
Okay.
unless it looks like it could be, and we hope for no rain.
Yeah.
But if it does, we'll and if it has rained and the track is too muddy to get out there, then we'll move it back down to the Century Stage area.
Right.
But that's what we have right now.
Okay.
They're working, all the guys that take care of the track and stuff. They're working on talking to other people about other events and stuff like that.
So, and you have, and I love y'all did a little kids show last year where the kids were dressed up in country garb. What is that called?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
It is
cute.
Yeah, they have barnyard. It's
Just so
barnyard
cute.
buddies or
Something like that. Just adorable.
Yeah.
And we've had talent shows. Did we do a talent show last year with the kiddos?
I think we did a talent
show.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite things because I love seeing these kids. We're actually going to stage a talent show at Greenbrier High School in the fall because it gives these kids a chance that maybe are kind of quiet and you don't know what they can do to get up there and just shine. And so I love that y'all do that at the fair. I love the little animal shows and all of those kinds of things. It's just so, and I'll tell you the music, guys, good land. And people, it's almost like it's the best kept secret is the music we have at the fair because Tommy comes in and brings in acts that will blow your blooming mind. And they're just incredible. Incredible.
One of the jobs that the Fair Board members hates to do is we all take shifts standing up at the front gate,
Oh, yeah.
Making sure, okay, yeah, you're supposed to be here, you're
Right,
not, stuff
right.
like that. But you get to stand up there on the highway,
Yeah.
and just sit there and listen to the music.
Oh, yeah.
And it's it makes time go by a lot faster because you're not really just sitting there. I mean, you have some really, really good music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun to watch people that are coming to the fair, walking across the bridge, they're dancing, singing along and stuff like that as they're coming down there because, like I say, Tommy does an amazing job of
You better
putting
believe
talent
it.
together.
It
And
is
he's
incredible.
extremely
Oh,
talented
him?
himself.
Yeah. He is, and we'll get Tommy in here. I know we've been missing each other. I don't think I've talked to him in last year, but he is just an extraordinary talent and just such an absolute asset to our fair board with the music.
Even though he's from California, he doesn't act like it.
No, he does not.
Yeah.
He does not. He's a refugee.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
He's one of our refugees, but he'll kill me for that. But I love this. I'm so excited because with school ending, it's time to really take a look at the fairgrounds, and it's already been just hopping and busy. You don't really have a lot of time out there that there's not something going on.
That's exactly right.
Because this last week, these last couple of weeks, you've been busy, and then moving forward with now that we've got the farmers market. If you missed that, I called him in just to get the date of the fair because I know everybody's kind of starting to get those wheels turning for when, because all you little girls that want to be fairest of the fair, it's time to start planning right now.
That's exactly right.
And you got to get those things lined up. But people want to get that on their calendar because they don't want to miss it. And I had no idea that the farmers market started this weekend. So
Yes.
perfect timing. And what is the time on the farmers market? What time do they open up?
8 till 12, I think.
Okay.
Is when it goes on every Saturday morning. So.
And the thing is, too, this used to be ran by a farmers market board, but now it is ran by the fair board.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
How do people get a booth if they want to be part of the
For the
vendors?
farmers
If they want,
market?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How does that work?
Well, you can go to our website and it has the links and the contact information, which is Hunter Mantooth is one of the main contacts.
Okay.
That you can get in touch with her. I'm not going to just throw her number out there. For
Yeah,
all the
just
world
go
to
and
hear, but
you just find you can go find it
Yeah.
on the website.
yes, and she's there every Saturday morning.
Okay.
As it's going on. So if you're interested and you hadn't got in touch with her, you can go to the farmer's market this Saturday morning, and she'll be down there, and she'll be happy to explain to you, how it is to get a booth. So,
Okay.
and it's very inexpensive. I don't know the
Oh
number.
yeah,
but
it's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's very inexpensive. It's just something that the fair board obviously does not want to make any money on that at all.
No, it's just
we just we want to have people come down and offer a service.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're there for.
And
So,
it is the best. It is really my favorite of the farmers market because it's under the shed, and so I've never been out there that it wasn't cool because they have the fans blowing and all that. It's just so well done. It's a great farmers market. It is such a great
plenty of
farmers
good
market.
parking
Yes.
on a solid surface. So
Yep.
if it's rained or has rained or is raining, you can still, you might get a little damp, going from your car to under there. But like I say, it's all under a shelter, so it rain or shine, we have it.
And you can walk down the Greenway.
Oh yeah.
And take a nice walk. I mean, what a pleasant way to just, go walk down the Greenway, go to the farmer's market, walk back. If you wanted to park something, if you want to kind of just get a little walking in or something to that degree. But it is a wonderful farmer's market, and it begins this weekend. Fair is in September. That is awesome. The date again, Trent?
September the 16th through the 20th.
All right. And then we have.
And we like to, I like to say that, in Robertson County with the Fair Association, with what Springfield is doing on the square and all the different events, there is no need to leave Robertson County.
No, there is not. And again, just if you haven't, all the stuff that we've got on going just this Saturday, from the farmers market to the crawfish boil that's happening later in the day, and then you've got the book walk that's happening. That's not the fairgrounds, but just you can do all these things. But at the fairgrounds, you've got farmers market, and then you got the crawfish boil that's happening. That's for the Robertson County Sports Alliance, the second annual King of the Crawfish competition and fish fry. Again, it's this Saturday as well, starting at 4 p.m. But the farmers market starts at 8.
Correct.
And then next weekend, we've got my father's house, the car show. Karen Mann's coming in to talk about that tomorrow. So we'll get more on that. But again, oftentimes things are at the fairgrounds because it's an awesome spot. Awesome.
You can come
place.
into Springfield on a Saturday morning and find anything you wanted to do.
Yeah, always check at the fairgrounds though, because there's odds are something's happening.
Yep.
For
that's
sure.
exactly right.
For sure. Thank you, brother. How are you doing? Everything good?
Everything's good. Me and Dinah are basically retired from building and stuff like that. Now she still is selling real estate.
Tell them how to get in touch with her for Cobb Hill Homes, because Cobb Hill Homes is what is it called now?
She's actually now she's with Legacy.
Okay.
With Jody Reynolds.
Okay.
At Legacy.
Okay.
But you can get in contact with her, 615-335-1266.
Okay.
615-335-1266 is Dinah's number as far as for selling real estate.
Right.
She does that, and she plays with grandbabies.
So is your family though still Cobb Hill Homes, or you've still got your?
Well, we still have our family farm,
Okay, okay. I didn't know if you were still building houses at all or not.
We're
'cause
not.
I thought
We're not.
your daughter was at one point.
Well, she is. She still sells real estate too with Diana. But also she is well, the old fashioned term is a hairdresser.
Okay.
Now they're
Cosmetologist.
yes. There you go.
There's the word, cosmetologist.
Yeah, because when I was little, your mom always had to go get her hair fixed.
Yeah. Same with me.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I should have asked you about everything before we got here at the end of the show, because now we're out of time. But
yeah,
and he's also one of our building inspectors for Robertson County, and that's awesome. And I love the fact that you're doing that with your history as a builder. That is a nice thing to know that you're there.
I still get to visit and see all the people.
Absolutely.
So
How cool.
It works great.
Love you, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate your family. And God bless y'all. And thank y'all for joining us. Lee Marie standing by. And we got Brother T. Rawls coming in here. I don't know. Maybe he's filling. I didn't see Lee Murray. Maybe he's filling in. But nonetheless, we got another full hour. T. Rawls, Brother T is coming on. We've got another full hour of local programming. So stay tuned. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful day.